So today's video is going to be interesting. I'm just going to be fixing some minor things on the car. So starting with the fog lights, which are actually on the bumper over there, it's the bumper off. And like those, they need to be fixed because one of them got torn in the back because it stuck out too far. And with no fender liner, it literally got caught on the tire the first time I moved the car and ripped off, which is kind of my own design fault. That's why I test things. And then on this side, it rubs on the fender liner. Originally, I was just going to remove it, but I might just cut the corner that it rubs on off, and then it'll fix my problem. So I think I'm just going to cut that corner off because it's hard to reach it anyway. So here I've got some tin snips, my current weapon of choice, and always weapon of choice when it comes to cutting things. And let's get started. So you can see it rubs here, that's why this part's just gone. So I'm going to start up here, and because I want to remove that piece of junk there too, well, if I can. There's that gone. That's fun and gross. Well, that's gone. Ew. So looking at it, it should still protect this right here and underneath the headlight. It won't protect the back of the fog light, but the fog lights are much cheaper to replace than the headlights, especially with all the stuff I put in these headlights. So at least I'll have it decent now, where it won't rub, because you can see how far this sticks out on its own, and it won't show either, because this bottom piece would always show every time I had to put the bumper back on with the quick releases. So now that's partially cut off, it just looks good. And it is attached down here as well to the brake vent, so then it's got pretty sturdy actually. Let's go turn the wheel and see if it touches anything. Ugh, the key's under the camera. Trading key for phone. Yeah, I don't think I said touch anything. Also, I think I said it way too far. I know it's like almost touching in the back, but that's normal. So there's always one thing I always wondered about, and that was the front end of this car. Because for a drift car, you want a lot of angle. And that's something this car actually has a decent amount of from stock. I mean, look at that angle. That is a good amount for a stock car. I've always thought about making an Is250, Is250 drift car, but I haven't. And since I already have one that's all-wheel drive, I'm not going to. But I always thought it'd be a cool idea. If anyone ever did it, I would love to see it, because that would just be awesome. With especially how much angle these things have. They really do have a lot of angle. I mean, you're pretty much limited to that angle, because even with these spacers and everything on, it doesn't look like you have the most amount of space left in there to get more angle out of it. But still, your stock angle is pretty good. Wow, everything's kind of rusty and gross in there. I'll have to clean it up. It looks all ew. Overall, it's the first task accomplished. Now it's time to work on these fog lights, which I'll show you guys. One of them works perfectly fine, I think. So this one's fine, although sticks straight out like the other one did, which I'm gonna try and fix. I mean, it bends down immediately, but it does stick straight out. And then there's this one which stuck straight out, I think a little further. It stuck straight out a little further, and it literally just snapped the wires off. I'm pretty sure this is one of the ones I fixed. And unfortunately, the negative was in there, so it does nothing until I fix it. So So that means I have no daytime running light, no nothing. And I'm gonna clean out this bumper too. Look at this. It's like caked on salt, people. This is why you don't drive a car in the north, because it's just salt. And just gets stuck on everything. I found out my problem. These were the two connectors that are supposed to be attached to the wire ends, they're not there. This is just for the daytime running light and everything. And what happened was, since I didn't wrap them with electrical tape, the insides just rotted and fell off. So, we're going to redo this, chop off that gross end, and then reattach it into these, which I can just clean up. That, or I can just grab a new one of these, which I can clean up. So I just decided to grab new connectors. Honestly, I don't know why I didn't think of just grabbing new connectors at first. Because these wires look okay inside. They need a little brushing. And honestly, I have a jillion of these connectors, so I don't know why I didn't just decide to grab a new one. I don't know. But I'm going to get a wire brush and some lifting tape.
Quem tá presente, as novinhas salientes, fica loucona e se joga pra gente. Eu falei assim pra ela. Eu falei assim pra ela. Eu falei assim pra ela.
I finally got one side to work. As you can see, it's on. These things are so foggy. These have been the biggest pain in the ass I've ever built. But I got it working. Basically what happened was the wires just got deteriorated everywhere, and also the wire for the DRL was actually broken in here, partially because I used the wrong clip originally. That's why I use the red ones on here now. And I ended up just attaching it here and making a weird loop thing for both of them to attach to, and this one will attach to the other fog light, since I had to replace the whole wire here because the whole wire was bad going down. It's been a mess. It's been a real annoying mess. So now you see the car, you see what I did today, and just wanted to give you guys a little bit of advice. If you do get aftermarket lights, or even just have your stock lights on your car, removing your fender liner will always make them fog. That's why this side is super foggy and soaked inside. There's actually mud inside this fog light. This side, there's a little bit of water, but that's also because there's no under protection. I removed all the stock protection from this car when I got it, because some of it was damaged and completely useless, and I didn't want to spend the crap loads of money to replace it. That's the risk you take when you remove all this. You might get foggy headlights and fog lights because water can get in easier, and especially flinging off the wheel, it's at a decently high pressure. Now, I'm fine with it. I've been working trying to figure out how to make them less leaky. Like, these are actually metal on the back with their lights, because I put a high-powered LED, which has metal in it that was waterproof. Unfortunately, that's what actually broke, and that's why I don't have an actual fog light. These are just decorative at this point with an LED white light and then the color from XK Glow. But when I get the fog light fully functioning, so it actually puts light out, then it would be fine with that full LED, as the LED was waterproof anyway. But I like the prototype, and I'm trying to find the right formula. It's very hard to find a good formula working with no fender liners, so they last. I did actually get it to work really well by just going full-on stock style with the giveaway lights that I gave away. Those actually could handle no fender liner, surprisingly. They were new, too. And they were quite tough. These are old already. They're kind of worn out. The rubber that was originally on them just broke. So that's kind of why there's such an issue with leaking. But I am going to keep trying to find something. I might actually make like fog light deflectors for certain cars. Like, I don't know if I'll make it for the Is250 because I don't think it was that big of a really support behind no fender liners on the Is250. But I would try and build like maybe brackets or something that protect it. That, or just custom fender liners that make it so you can have a massive wheel in there while also still having the protection for your lights. So that's it for today's video. I just wanted to show you what I was up to, some of the things I was doing for Friday. Obviously, honestly, these look really cool again. I loved how the fog lights have the little halo and like the owl kind of looking thing going on. So I'm gonna let them kind of dry out. I'm gonna drive the car today too. And yeah, so I'll see you guys on Monday. Peace out and be legendary.
Stop till we're legend.